Parents abandoned me at 17, spread lies, left a note saying, "You'll figure it out," then showed up like nothing happened. Yeah, I figured it out so well that the judge gave them a reality check. With handcuffs. Hey Reddit, from where do I start? Lol. Family left me alone and now they wanted to talk. I need you to grab some popcorn and enjoy. I grew up in a pretty average neighborhood, the kind with mailboxes all lined up the same and kids riding bikes till the streetlights came on. From the outside, we probably looked normal. Two parents, two kids, small house with a patchy lawn out front. But inside, it was always obvious who the favorite was. My older brother Kai could do no wrong. Straight up golden child treatment. Like when he got his driver's license at 16, my dad, Victor, handed him the keys to the family's old sedan and said, "Don't scratch her up, champ," grinning ear to ear. 2 months later, Kai sideswiped a mailbox. My dad laughed, slapped him on the back, said, "First dent's out of the way." Same year, I brought home a certificate for winning the regional math contest. My mom, Marla, glanced at it, nodded, and asked if I'd cleaned my room yet. That was the whole reaction. So yeah, favoritism was kind of the family hobby. When I was 17, the Tuesday everything happened started like any other. I'd just finished a shift at the car wash, riding home on my beat-up bike with my backpack sliding off my shoulder. Sun was going down, sky all orange and purple. I was thinking about leftover spaghetti in the fridge, but when I got to the house, something felt wrong before I even went inside. No car in the driveway, curtains gone from the windows. I pushed the door open. The place was stripped. Furniture, gone. TV, gone. Even the picture frames off the walls. It looked like the ending scene of a rental ad. On the kitchen counter sat a single sticky note. 5 words, written in my mom's sharp, slanted handwriting. "You'll figure it out, Ronan." That was it. No phone number, no love, Mom, no explanation. I stood there for a minute, thinking maybe there was more in my room. Nope. My bed frame, mattress, even my blanket were gone. Closet cleaned out except for a broken hanger on the floor. Checked the bathroom. They'd taken the shower curtain too. Who takes a shower curtain? I called Kai first. Straight to voicemail. Then I tried my mom. Phone rang twice before going dead like it had been shut off. The fridge was still running, humming like nothing happened. But inside was just 1 bottle of ketchup and a half-empty jar of pickles. Next morning, I tracked down Mr. Keen, our landlord. Old guy, lived 2 houses over. He opened the door, gave me this look like he already knew something I didn't. "They told me you were staying behind," he said. "Who told you that?" I asked. "Your parents. Said you had friends to stay with. Canceled the lease. Place is supposed to be empty by Friday." So not only had they left, but they told people it was my idea. Like I was the rebellious kid who just didn't want to come along. I had $186 in my wallet, no bank account in my own name, and no birth certificate because my parents always kept the important papers in their bedroom closet, which was now somewhere 2 states away. By Thursday, I found the cheapest storage unit in town. I bought a padlock from the gas station and tossed everything I owned inside. A trash bag of clothes, a box of school notebooks, and a toothbrush. That was my whole life packed into a concrete box. First night, I slept on the floor. Hoodie for a pillow, backpack under my legs, so nobody could grab it if they broke in. Every sound echoed. Second day, I hit the public library to use their computers. Searched how to get an ID without parents. Got a list of government websites I couldn't access because I had no documents. Checked the job boards instead. Most places wanted online applications, so I typed up the shortest resume ever. Ronan Vale, 17. Reliable, night shifts preferred. Before leaving, I spotted a card pinned to the bulletin board between a guitar lesson flyer and a lost cat poster. Warehouse night shift. Cash. Back entrance. Ask for jacks. I took it. That evening, I rode 3 miles to the address. Place looked like it hadn't seen paint in 10 years. Loading bay door open, smell of cardboard and motor oil drifting out. Inside, a big guy was stacking boxes onto a pallet, like they weighed nothing. "You Jax?" I asked. He glanced over. "You Ronan?" "Yeah." "Ever drive a forklift?" "No." "Ever fall asleep standing up?" "No." "Great," he said. "You start tonight. $10 an hour, cash, no questions asked." The work was heavy but simple. Load, stack, repeat. I kept at it till 3 a.m. because the alternative was the storage unit floor. By Saturday, I had enough for a prepaid phone and a jar of peanut butter from the dollar store. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, problem solved. That night, I was pedaling back to the storage lot when I saw it. A car parked across the street. No lights, engine off. I stopped. Watched. 5 minutes. 10. It didn't move. Neither did I. Finally, a car 2 blocks down came around the corner, and its headlights swept across the street. The parked car's engine coughed to life, and it rolled off slow, like it had all the time in the world. I kept watching till it turned out of sight. Could have been nothing. Could have been somebody waiting for a friend. But my gut said otherwise. I unlocked my unit, slipped inside, and dropped the padlock in place. Sat on the floor, back against the wall, listening. Nothing but the buzzing light outside. After a while, I lay down on my hoodie and told myself I'd figure it out tomorrow. I always did. Next evening, I showed up early at the warehouse. Jax was tossing a pallet jack around like it owed him money. "You look like hell," he said. "Storage unit floor isn't exactly a sleep number bed," I said. He smirked. "Don't snore too loud tonight. Boss hates it." "Boss?" "Yeah, me," he said, deadpan, then grinned. "Welcome to the team." That was Jax. Sarcastic about 90% of the time, serious the other 10, and you never knew which was which until later. Work was steady. Boxes in, boxes out. Around midnight, he waved me over to a folding table near the loading bay door. Pushed a plastic water bottle toward me. "So, you got family here?" he asked. "Not anymore." He didn't blink. "They bail or you run?" "They left," I said. He nodded like that explained everything. We worked till 3. My hands were blistered, back screaming, but cash was cash. Jax peeled off 6 10s from a wad in his pocket. "More nights, same pay," he said. "You in?" "Yeah." He pointed at my backpack. "Get yourself better shoes first. Floor chews people alive." That became my routine. I bought a pair of used work boots from a thrift store for $15. Made a world of difference. At the library, I hunted for ways to replace all the stuff my parents had taken. Birth certificate, social security card, everything. Most sites wanted mailing addresses. I had none. I found a forum where someone said you could order a replacement birth certificate if you mailed in an affidavit and a copy of your school records. I biked to the high school, asked the secretary for a transcript. She gave me a look like I was trouble, but printed it anyway. Progress, one paper at a time. By the second week, Jax had me running the forklift. "Don't impale anything important," he said, tossing me the keys. I didn't. On money, I set up a Gmail account at the library, so job apps didn't have to list Storage Unit 14B as my home address. One afternoon, I found a used Dell laptop for $40. Battery half dead, screen hinge loose, but it booted. I downloaded a bunch of free PDFs about budgeting, basic coding, networking. Every night after work, I read till I fell asleep sitting up. By then, I'd saved enough to stop eating peanut butter 3 meals a day. Dollar menu burgers felt like fine dining. One night, Jax asked if I ever planned on college. "Not sure yet," I said. "Right now, goal's to have an actual bed again." He nodded. "One thing at a time, Vale." Things started looking less impossible. I wasn't comfortable, but I wasn't drowning either. Then came Friday. I biked to the library after my shift, sweaty and running on 3 hours of sleep just to check email. Buried between spam about car insurance and a coupon from the burger place was a subject line that froze me. Bank notice, joint account activity. I clicked it. The email said my name was still on a joint savings account opened when I was 14. My parents had set it up for college. I hadn't thought about it in years. The balance showed $42.17. Transaction history showed a withdrawal for nearly $3,000 the week after they left. I stared at the screen, jaw tight. My name on the account, money gone, and I knew exactly how that would play when they told the story later. Ronan the runaway, Ronan the thief. It was classic Victor and Marla. Mess you up, then blame you for bleeding. That evening, I showed the email to Jax while we unloaded a shipment of brake pads. "They took it?" he asked. "Yeah, $3,000. Under your name?" "Yep." He shook his head, tossed a box onto the pallet. "Family of the year, man." I didn't answer. My brain was already spinning through what this meant. Documents gone. Money gone. Reputation next, probably. Jax noticed. "You look like you're planning something." "I'm planning to not let them own me anymore," I said. He cracked a grin. "Now we're talking." Saturday night, the car was back. But this time, when I rolled up on my bike, it started and drove away slow. Like it wanted me to know it was there. That wasn't random. I didn't need a detective badge to figure that out. Somebody was watching, and I had a decent guess who. The parents always worked like that. Start with silence, then build the story their way. By the time you find out, half the neighborhood already believes their version. I could already hear it. Ronan went off the rails after we left, stole from us, broke contact. Yeah, right. Sunday morning, I took my cash envelope from the storage unit, counted out exactly 200 bucks, and biked to the pawn shop on 5th. Picked up a used Nintendo Switch with 2 games, Mario Kart and Zelda Breath of the Wild. I only bought it after saving my first month's rent and ID fees. Set it up in the corner of the storage unit on my busted laptop stand. Manager never checked the hall outlets, so I ran a cord when nobody was looking. Not exactly legal, but cheaper than a generator. Small things like that kept my head straight. That week at the warehouse, Jax taught me how to read freight tags so I didn't stack the wrong stuff together. "You keep learning like this," he said one night, "you'll be running your own gig before you hit 20. "Yeah," I said. "That's the plan." Because by now it was the plan. I wasn't going to do night shifts forever. I wanted out of the storage unit, out of this cash under the table life. So I started picking up side jobs from flyers at the library, installing cheap security cams for small shops, fixing Wi-Fi for people who didn't know a router from a microwave, basic laptop cleanups. Stuff nobody wanted to pay Geek Squad prices for. Next day, I put some cash toward a prepaid hotspot and a domain name, vailops.net. Bought one of those Visa gift cards from the gas station. Registrars don't care as long as it clears. No questions, no ID. My company. Looked barely legit but better than scribbled phone numbers on scrap paper. Every night I watched YouTube tutorials on networking, spreadsheets, cheap alarm systems, anything I could find. No course fees, no fancy software. Just me, the laptop, and free Wi-Fi at the library until closing time. Friday afternoon I checked the email tied to my new website. First message wasn't about cameras or routers. Subject line, "You're still our son, M." I stared at it for a minute, then opened it. Mom. Acting like nothing happened. A couple lines about family sticking together. Nothing about disappearing. Nothing about the joint account they drained. An hour later, another email came in. From my brother Kai. "Hey bro, we should talk. Family's been through a lot. Maybe we can fix things." I didn't answer either one. Instead, I bought myself a proper chair from a thrift shop for the storage unit. Folding metal thing, paint peeling, cost $5. But it meant I didn't have to sit on the concrete eating noodles anymore. Saturday night after my shift, I swung by a used electronics store and grabbed a $20 Bluetooth speaker. Hooked it to my laptop, blasted some old rock songs while I worked on a budget spreadsheet for my side jobs. Money in, money out. Rent goal. Food goal. Replacement. ID fees. Watching the numbers stack up felt better than any pep talk. Sunday morning, Kai emailed again. Longer this time. Said he saw my name online tied to the little camera jobs I was doing. Said he was proud I was making something of myself. Said mom and dad wanted to reconnect. He wrote like the note on the counter never happened. Like I was the one who cut them off. I forwarded the email to Jax. He wrote back, "Sounds like somebody wants something. Watch your 6." Monday night, while I was installing a router for a laundromat owner, another message came in. Old photos this time. Me and Kai at the beach when we were kids. Birthday parties, Christmas mornings, no apology, just nostalgia bait. I closed the email, finished the router job, collected my $60 and bought a pizza on the way back. First hot meal in weeks that wasn't from a dollar menu. Sat in the storage unit, Joy-Con in one hand, pizza slice in the other, Mario Kart on the screen. When it drove off 10 minutes later, I knew 2 things for sure. 1, the past wasn't staying buried. 2, mom and dad were circling for a reason, and I was going to find out what it was before they got the chance to spin it. It had been just over 5 months since they left. 5 months of warehouse shifts, storage unit nights, and side gigs stapled together with duct tape and caffeine, long enough for me to stop expecting answers. So when Kai texted out of nowhere, I knew something was up. "Kai, we should talk." Just us. No drama. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Me. Where? Kai. Downtown. Coffee place on 7th. Saturday, noon. I sent back one word, fine. Jack smirked when I told him at the warehouse that night. "Let me guess," he said, tossing brake pads onto a pallet. "He's gonna hit you with 'we miss you' and then slide into 'we need your help.' You think it's about money?" I asked. "Kid," Jack said, wiping his hands on his shirt, "people don't circle back after pulling a stunt like that unless they need something. It's never about love." Saturday came quick. I wore my one decent shirt and locked the storage unit behind me. Downtown coffee shop, corner table, back to the wall. Always pick the seat with a view of the door. Jax drilled that into me after the second time the mystery car showed up outside my place. Kai arrived late, like he wanted to make an entrance. Pressed shirt, shiny watch, haircut that screamed company Christmas party. Same confident walk I remembered. like he knew the ground would hold him up no matter where he stepped. "Ronan," he said, grinning like this was some surprise reunion episode. "Sit," I said. He sat. We danced through small talk for maybe 2 minutes before he leaned back and hit me with it. "Mom and Dad want to talk," he said. I watched him. "Do they?" He nodded, all serious. "They feel bad about how things went. A lot was happening back then. Like emptying the account with my name on it?" His eyes shifted. "They said it was Bill's. Bill's in another state?" He shrugged, practiced and smooth. "Nobody's perfect. They want to make things right. Family should stick together." I laughed. "Family? You mean the people who left me with nothing and then told the landlord I wanted to stay?" His smile twitched. "You gonna hold a grudge forever?" "I'll hold facts forever," I said. He slid an envelope across the table. "Old family photos. They want the family whole again," Kai said softly, like he was delivering bad news about a pet. I didn't touch the photos. "You tell people I ran off?" He hesitated just a second too long. "They said you were independent, wanted to stay here." "Independent," I repeated. "Right. That's one word for it." Before he could answer, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Just 3 words. "We see you." I turned the screen so he could read it. "You send this?" He frowned. "No." "Why?" "Because somebody keeps parking outside my unit at night." He shook his head like he didn't know what I was talking about. Either he was clueless, or he deserved an Oscar. "They want to meet," Kai said again. "Hear their side. Clear the air." "Not today," I said, standing up. "Ronan," I was already walking out. Next afternoon, I got an email from someone named Tessa Vale. "Hi, Ronan. I'm Kai's wife. We haven't met. I'd like to hear your side before I believe anyone's version. No pressure." That made me pause. Someone in that family actually wanted facts? That was new. I wrote back, "Diner on 4th. Tomorrow. Noon." Tessa showed up in a hoodie, jeans, hair in a ponytail. No perfect smile, no fake warmth. She looked tired but solid. The kind of tired you get from kids, not drama. Quick pause, fellas. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube this video deserves to blow up, and it keeps even crazier stories coming your way. Thanks so much for your support. All right, back to the drama. "Thanks for coming," she said. "Not sure what you've heard," I said, "but my version doesn't involve happy music and hugs." She nodded. "Kai said you were angry. Your parents said you distanced yourself." I wanted to hear it straight, so I told her. Short version. The note. The bank account. The landlord. The car watching my unit at night. She listened, eyes sharp. "Yeah," she said finally. "Your mom posts on Facebook like you ran off and broke her heart. Says they spent months trying to find you." I laughed. Couldn't help it. "Sure," I said, looking real hard from 2 states away with 0 calls. Tessa tapped the table. "Do you want contact with them?" "Not on their terms," I said. She studied me, then wrote her number on a napkin. "If anything weird happens, call me. I've got 2 kids in that house." I like knowing the truth. That night, I biked back to the unit. Jax was waiting, leaning against the door, chewing sunflower seeds like he had all night. "So," he said. "They want a family reunion," I told him. He snorted. "Yeah, bet they do." I flipped through the photos Kai gave me. All smiles, Christmas trees, birthday cakes. Cropped perfect, so nobody could see the cracks just outside the frame. Behind the last photo was a note in my dad's handwriting. "We can fix this. Come home." Jax read it over my shoulder. "Funny word, home," he said, spitting a shell. "Usually requires you not abandoning people first." That night, the car followed me for 7 blocks before peeling off. This wasn't about family anymore. This was about control. And if they wanted a war, fine. I wasn't 17 with a backpack and peanut butter sandwiches anymore. I had work, cash, gear, and one very sarcastic warehouse buddy who didn't scare easy. First thing I did was upgrade my unit. Not the size, still couldn't afford that. But the defenses. Picked up a 4-camera kit off Craigslist for $80. Spent the night mounting them to the corners with brackets stolen from a busted shelf behind the laundromat. Jax helped run the wires. "You expecting ninjas?" he asked, holding the ladder steady. "Expecting family," I said. "Same thing," he muttered. By midnight, we had a live feed running to my laptop. Street view, door view, alley view, and one inside pointed at the unit itself. I labeled the windows east, west, alley, inside, like a low-budget command center. Next day, Tessa called. "Did Kai tell you about the Facebook posts?" She asked right away. "Yeah, the ones where I apparently ran away crying into the sunset. He left out the part where your parents claim you stole from them," she said flatly. Whole church group believes it. I felt my jaw lock. They empty my account, then tell people I robbed them? Pretty much, she said. I told Kai it didn't add up. He said to stay out of it. Smart man, I said. You got copies of those posts? She did. Screenshotted everything and emailed them to me that night. There it was in black and white. My mom asking for prayers to find our troubled son. My dad talking about money taken before he disappeared. All posted weeks after they left me standing in an empty house with a sticky note. Jax read over my shoulder. Oh yeah, he said, cracking a sunflower seed. Totally screams loving parents. Real Hallmark stuff. I was done playing defense. 2 nights later, Kai's house got hit. He called me at 6 a.m., voice shaking. Someone came in, he said. Drawers dumped. Stuff missing. What stuff? Photo albums, mom's jewelry box, my old laptop, a folder with the mortgage papers. Police? I asked. Yeah. They said no signs of forced entry. Right. Because mom and dad still had the old spare set from when Kai first bought the place. Never gave them back. Of course there weren't. Mom and dad still had keys. I rode over on my bike, checked the place myself. Drawers yanked open, couch cushions sliced like somebody was looking for cash. But what hit me hardest was Kai standing there in his perfect polo shirt, finally looking like maybe the golden boy wasn't so shiny after all. Tessa was in the kitchen, arms crossed tight. They're escalating, she said quietly. I told Kai this would happen. Where are the kids? I asked. At my mom's. Good, I said. Kai walked in. You think it was them? Who else has keys and a grudge? I said. We installed cameras around their house that afternoon. Cheap ones, but better than nothing. Jax showed up with a door bar, the kind you wedge under the handle so nobody can kick it in. You're welcome, he said, dropping it on the counter. Tessa thanked him. Kai didn't say much. That night, I set up a shared folder with all the screenshots, photos, timestamps, and gave access to Kai, Tessa, and the case officer so nobody could say it was just my word later. One place with everything. Because if the cops weren't going to connect the dots, I would. Saturday evening, things got worse. A plain white envelope slid under my storage unit door. No return address. Inside was one of Kai's spare house keys, and a note printed in bold letters. Family matters stay in the family. Jax whistled when he saw it. They're not even pretending anymore. Good, I said. Makes it easier to explain later. Sunday, Tessa asked to meet alone. Just her, sitting in the corner booth at the diner, with her hands wrapped around a coffee cup like she needed the heat. They told the neighbors you threatened them, she said before I even sat down. Of course they did, I said. What else? That you ran off at 17 after taking their savings. That they tried to help you, but you refused. I laughed, low and sharp. Classic. She slid her phone across the table. Screenshots again. Posts. Messages. Comments from people saying praying for your family under photos of my parents looking heartbroken on their porch. Tessa lowered her voice. I'm telling you this because I've got kids in that house. If they're desperate enough to break in once, they'll do it again. I nodded. I believe you. She looked at me, serious. What are you going to do? End it, I said simply. That night, I moved Kai, Tessa, and the kids into my storage unit building. Not the unit itself. Place next door had a small upstairs office for rent, mostly empty since the pandemic. Manager let them crash there for a week if they paid cash. Jax helped haul mattresses up the stairs, muttering the whole time about family drama requiring cardio. Before midnight, we had cameras on every door and window. I was done waiting for the next hit. At 2 a.m., a car pulled into the lot. Not the usual one. Different plates. Parked by Kai's house across town. 10 minutes later, my phone pinged with a motion alert. Back window camera. A man climbed in. Face turned away. I watched in real time as drawers opened, cabinet slammed. And then he looked straight at the camera before ripping it off the wall. Didn't matter. Footage already saved. Next morning, I handed Kai the tablet with the video queued up. He went pale. Tessa swore under her breath. Jax leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Well, he said, guess we know who wants the family reunion most. We watched in silence as the man on screen walked through Kai's house like he owned it. Because technically, he used to, and he wanted it back. Kai sat at the table staring at the paused video like it was a math problem he couldn't solve. Tessa had her arms crossed so tight her knuckles were white. Jax just leaned against the wall, tossing a sunflower seed into his mouth like we were watching a game. They broke in twice, I said. Once at night when no one was home. Next time, who knows? Tessa looked at Kai. You believe it now? He didn't answer right away. Typical. Kai always wanted things wrapped in polite explanations. This wasn't that. Finally, he nodded slowly. Yeah, it's them. No kidding, Jax muttered. We called the cops that morning. Officers showed up. Middle-aged guy with tired eyes like he'd seen it all before. Any proof it was them? He asked. I handed him the tablet with the video. He watched, frowned, handed it back. Face isn't clear. You got anything else? Witnesses? They left a note, I said. He read the family matters stay in the family message. Sighed like he hated paperwork. We can file a report, he said. But unless they hurt somebody or steal something big, this is a civil issue. Restraining orders, maybe. Small-town cops didn't like getting dragged into family drama unless somebody left in an ambulance. That's it? Tessa asked, angry now. They break into our house, threaten us, and you want us to fill out forms? The cop didn't flinch. Welcome to the system, ma'am. So we filled out the forms. Every line, every date, every weird message. I uploaded the video to a private link, added the screenshots of my mom's Facebook posts, claiming I stole money, claimed I abandoned them. We didn't hear back for 3 days. On the third day, Kai called me at work. They tried to get in again, he said, voice tight. Anyone home? I asked. Yeah, me, kids. They jiggled the back door for like 30 seconds, then drove off. Call the cops? They showed up an hour later. Said unless they actually step inside, nothing they can do. That night, we held a meeting in the upstairs office. Me, Kai, Tessa, and Jax, because he was basically part of this now, whether he liked it or not. We're filing for emergency restraining orders, I said. Judge signs it. They so much as breathe near this place. Cops have to act. Think it'll work? Tessa asked. Better than waiting for them to come through the door with a smile and a bat, Jax said. Kai rubbed his face. This is gonna blow up the family. Newsflash, I said. Family's already on fire. Next morning, courthouse. I handed over the whole stack of evidence. The video, the note, the texts, the Facebook posts, even screenshots from my cameras showing the car parked outside my storage unit at 2 a.m. I put it all in one folder. Dates, times, police reports, so the judge couldn't claim confusion later. He read everything, didn't take long. Signed the emergency orders for all of us. Me, Kai, Tessa, and the kids. 3 weeks, no contact, no drive-bys, no messages, nothing. Police will serve them today, the judge said. If they violate, you call immediately. Tessa let out a breath like she'd been holding it for months. Kai just stared at the paper like he couldn't believe we'd actually gone this far. It got worse before it got better. Serving the papers must have set them off because that evening, my phone buzzed with a new message from a blocked number. You think a piece of paper stops family? I saved the text, forwarded it to the cop handling our case. 2 hours later, another message. You turned your brother against us. You'll regret this. This one I sent to the judge's clerk with the timestamp. The real consequence came the next night. We were eating takeout in the upstairs office. Me, Kai, Tessa, the kids watching cartoons on my laptop, when tires screeched outside. A rock came through the front window. Glass everywhere. Kids screaming. By the time we ran to the door, the car was gone. Police came, took pictures, wrote another report. With the restraining order in place and the threats saved, they finally treated it like more than a family squabble. Judge will extend the order, the officer said. Might even add stalking charges if this keeps up. Tessa was shaking as she swept glass off the floor. Kai just sat in a chair, head in his hands. Jax looked at me. Told you paper only works if someone enforces it. The next morning, I went back to the courthouse alone. Handed over the new report, the texts, the video stills of the car speeding away. Judge signed the extended order for 6 months this time. They were officially cut off. Violation meant immediate arrest. That night was the first time in weeks the car didn't come by. Kai kept looking out the window like he didn't trust it. Tessa stayed quiet, holding the kids close. They'll try something else, Jack said. People like that don't quit. They just change tactics. He was right, because the next morning my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Lawyers can't stop family. We're coming to talk. That was the text. No number, no name. Like I wouldn't know who sent it. I showed it to Jax while we loaded a truck at the warehouse. He read it, snorted, and tossed a box onto the pallet. Cool. Maybe ask if they want coffee with their felony. Thinking about it, I said. They came 2 days later. Saturday afternoon. Warm, quiet, almost boring. Kids were upstairs watching cartoons in the storage office. Tessa was sorting laundry. Kai was staring at his phone like always. Jax and I were on the balcony drinking cheap gas station sodas. Then the car rolled in. Not fast. Not sneaky. Just pulled right into the lot and parked like they owned the place. Victor and Marla Vale got out. My parents. First time I'd seen them up close since the note on the counter 5 months ago. Victor looked older but still carried himself like a man who thought people should listen when he spoke, and wearing his "I mean business" expression. Marla had that same tight-lipped expression, like she was the victim of whatever was happening. They walked toward the building. I hit record on my phone. "Ronan," my dad said, spreading his arms like this was some movie moment. "We just want to talk." I leaned on the railing. "Cool. Cops will want to talk too. Restraining order says 50 feet, by the way." "That's ridiculous," Marla said sharply. "We're your parents." "We deserve respect." I smiled. "Like the respect you showed when you emptied the house and told everyone I stole from you?" Victor frowned. "You know why we left. Things were complicated." "Right," I said. "Complicated is one word for packing a U-Haul while your kid's at work." Kai came out behind me, arms crossed. "You broke into my house," he said flatly. Victor waved that off like it was nothing. "We needed to get some things." "Yeah," I said. "Like my birth certificate? My social security card? My laptop? Real urgent, right?" Marla's eyes flashed. "We took what belonged to us." I laughed. Couldn't help it. "That's funny. You mean the bank account in my name you drained? The neighbors you told I ran off? The cops you made waste paperwork on your little rock-throwing hobby?" "We are your family," Victor snapped. "Family takes care of each other." "Cool," I said. "Where was that energy when I was sleeping on a concrete floor eating peanut butter for dinner?" They didn't like that. Victor's jaw tightened. "You've turned your brother against us. We saw those court papers. Do you have any idea how embarrassing this is for us?" I tilted my head. "Embarrassing? That the neighbors might find out you left a 17-year-old with nothing but a sticky note? Or that Facebook might delete your little missing son posts when they see the police reports?" Marla pointed a finger at me. "We made mistakes, but you're blowing this out of proportion. We wanted space. We thought you'd figure things out." "Oh, I did," I said. "Figured out how to hold 2 jobs, buy my own gear, and pay for cameras to catch you breaking the law. Real character-building stuff. Thanks for the life lessons." Jax cracked open his soda, loud in the silence. "Pretty sure this conversation is over," he said casually. "Cops should be here any minute." Victor took a step forward. "We're not leaving until you hear us out." "Wrong again," I said, holding up my phone so they could see the red recording dot. "You're leaving when the squad car gets here. And you're gonna smile for the camera, because this video's going straight to the judge who signed that restraining order." Marla's voice went shrill. "We are your parents. We gave you life." I leaned on the railing, calm. "Yeah. And then you tried to wreck it. So now we're even." She actually gasped like I'd slapped her. Victor shook his head in disbelief. "You're really doing this? To your own family?" I counted on my fingers. "Let's see. Left me homeless? Lied to everyone? Broke into Kai's house? Threw a rock through a window with kids inside? Yeah, I'm really doing this." That's when the police car rolled in. Officer stepped out. Same guy from before. He looked at me, then at them. "You two know there's a restraining order, right?" "We're just talking," Marla snapped. He held up a hand. "Ma'am, talking stops when a judge signs paperwork. Turn around." Victor tried to argue until the cuffs came out. Then he got real quiet. Marla started yelling about respect, about ungrateful children, about how we'd regret this. "Add that to the report," I told the officer. "She likes sending threats. Might as well save time." Kids watched from the upstairs window as the car pulled away with Victor and Marla inside. Tessa stood behind them, hand on their shoulders, saying nothing. Kai sat down on the balcony like somebody let the air out of him. Jax tossed another sunflower seed into his mouth. "Well," he said, "that was fun." I put my phone down. "They'll be out in a day, maybe less. But next time they even text, it's straight to the judge." Kai nodded slowly. "You think they'll stop?" I looked at the empty parking lot, thought about the note, the break-ins, the rock through the window. "Yeah," I said finally. Because for the first time, it's not just our word against theirs. It's proof. And people like them? They only play tough when they can rewrite the story. 2 weeks later, the restraining order got extended to a full year. The judge cited the video, the texts, the threats, the break-ins, called it a pattern of harassment. Victor and Marla didn't show up to fight it. Guess even they knew when the game was over.